In 2023, Aston Martin experienced a rollercoaster of highs and lows, transitioning from podium finishes to a mid-season slump, before reclaiming their form in the closing races. But what about 2024? The team is determined to evolve with the AMR24, aiming to produce a challenger capable of contending for victories at every circuit. From addressing Fernando Alonso's feedback to adapting to external changes, Aston Martin has crafted a new vision for 2024. Let's take a closer look at Aston Martin's 2024 car. Aston Martin's journey in the 2023 Formula One season was like a thrilling ride, with ups and downs that kept fans on the edge of their seats. The team started with a bang, securing 5 impressive podium finishes in the first 6 races. This early success injected excitement into the season, especially with Fernando Alonso making memorable appearances on the podium. However, as the season progressed, Aston Martin faced challenges as other teams ramped up their development efforts. The initial momentum began to fade, prompting the team to rethink its strategy for the 2024 season. In the interviews leading up to the launch, the team's chief technical director, Dan Fallows, expressed confidence in Aston Martin's ability to challenge Red Bull, currently the dominant force on the grid. However, he clarified that the goal isn't just to beat Red Bull in isolated races, but to consistently compete at a high level across all circuits. Which means that rather than focusing solely on specific race conditions, Aston Martin aims to create a car that's adaptable and responsive to the driver's needs. Aston Martin hopes to establish itself as a formidable contender throughout the season by prioritizing user-friendly design and driver satisfaction. The team focuses on building a solid foundation for consistent performance, aiming to challenge the fastest cars on the grid. A successful campaign hinges heavily on the team's ability to pinpoint and rectify the issues that led to a mid-season slump in 2023, a slump from which it struggled to bounce back. For Aston Martin to stage a comeback, their 2024 car must match the standards of powerhouses like Ferrari and Red Bull. The British team recently took the wraps off their 2024 contender, the AMR24. However, Aston Martin's unveiling of the AMR24 might only tell a part of the story. Instead of studio shots, they opted for a series of renders, leaving some details hidden. The actual test would come later during the pre-season testing, when the AMR24 hit the road, leaving no secrets behind. The AMR24's roots trace back to its predecessor, the AMR23. Aston Martin's approach for 2024 wasn't a complete overhaul, but rather a strong evolution, according to technical director Dan Fallows. While many parts of the AMR24 are new, the spirit of the AMR23 lives on, with refinements woven into every aspect of the design. Fallows shed light on the evolutionary process, highlighting changes in the nose, front wing, and bodywork. But beneath the surface lie hidden innovations, carefully crafted to enhance performance. Fallows stated, "We have built on the end of AMR23. The obvious thing you'll see that are different are the nose and front wing. Bodywork will be different, but there's also quite a lot of stuff under the hood, which hopefully you won't see. We will try and keep some of that under wraps." Let's take a detailed look at these changes that Fallows spoke about. One of the noticeable changes is the nose of the car, which is shorter than before. This change helps the front wing generate more downforce, making the car stick better to the track. Aston Martin decided to trim back the nose to let more air flow smoothly over the car, making it faster and more stable, especially in corners. Another significant change is seen around the car's side pods and bodywork. Aston Martin added a lip at the bottom of the side pod inlets. This lip helps to guide the air more cleanly into the side pods, making the car more aerodynamic. It also helps to separate the turbulent air from the suspension parts, which can slow the car down. By doing this, Aston Martin hopes to make the car faster, especially on straight parts of the track where high speed is crucial. Feedback from drivers like Fernando Alonso has been instrumental in shaping the development of the AMR24. Alonso's input regarding top speed weakness prompted the team to prioritize improvements in this area. Technical director Dan Fallows believes the team values driver feedback to enhance performance. Fallows stated, "Fernando, as with our drivers, is quite vocal about what he wants to see on the car, how the car is performing. That's exactly what we want to know." In response, Aston Martin has focused on optimizing straight-line speed during the off-season, achieving significant progress with the AMR24. The team keeps its unique look, but you can see a bit of Red Bull's influence, especially underneath the surface. These changes are strategically aimed at enhancing aerodynamic performance. Another significant change to the Aston Martin car is the bulge beneath the side pod, which counteracts any lift effects caused by the side pod's shape. Although present in the previous model, the bulge is more pronounced in the AMR24. due to introducing a more significant undercut. Additionally, the waterslide channels atop the side pods remain critical in directing airflow toward the top of the floor and around the rear suspension components. Aston Martin's decision to adopt a rear suspension package supplied by Mercedes marks a departure from the pull rod setup used for over a decade. This change to a push rod setup has some benefits. It creates more space on the floor because certain parts are positioned higher up. While it may affect the car's center of gravity, the benefits are worth it. The AMR24 has some noticeable changes in the bodywork around the engine cover. One standout addition is a streak of fluorescent yellow. This isn't just for looks, it shows Aston Martin's commitment to making detailed improvements. However, the team was affected by the short off-season between the 2023 and 2024 seasons. Despite the time constraints, Aston Martin remains focused on optimizing the car's performance and exploring its developmental potential. The compressed timeline has prompted teams including Aston Martin to expedite their late-season development efforts, with plans to introduce upgrades early in the upcoming season. Fallows explained, "We're very pleased with the step we've made over the winter. We think we've made a step on last year's car, which is what we wanted. But it is a short off-season, and we were developing relevant things for this year quite late into last season. So our main aim is to make sure that this car is a good platform to put those developments on during the season." While the car's design details are impressive, the actual test lies in its performance on the track. Its capabilities will be fully revealed only when the car hits the circuit, particularly at the Bahrain Grand Prix. As the 2024 season is about to kick off, Aston Martin is focused on narrowing the gap to the front of the grid. Closing the gap to the leading teams is crucial for Aston Martin. It's like a race within a race, where every improvement matters. They know they can't afford to stay still, while others surge ahead. By striving to catch up with top teams, Aston Martin aims to show that they're serious contenders in Formula One and deserve respect in the racing world. One big goal for Aston Martin this season is to win a race. Despite coming close in 2023, they still needed to secure a victory. Winning a race is like reaching the pinnacle of success in Formula One. It's not just about crossing the finish line first. It's about proving to themselves and everyone else that they have what it takes to be champions. Another priority for Aston Martin for the upcoming season is meeting their star driver's expectations, Fernando Alonso. By satisfying Alonso's needs and preferences, the team aims to ensure his continued presence for the next 2 to 3 years, potentially even longer. Fernando Alonso's performance in 2023 was a shining beacon for Aston Martin. He proved that he's still one of the best drivers in the sport. With Lance Stroll as his teammate, Aston Martin has a solid lineup, but keeping Alonso for the long term is crucial. He's like the engine that drives the team forward, and they need to ensure he stays on board for the journey ahead. As Aston Martin revs up for the 2024 season, they're fueled by ambition and a desire to succeed. With their eyes set on the podium and their determination unwavering, Aston Martin is ready to take on whatever challenges come their way. Subscribe now to our channel and hit the notification bell to ensure you never miss an update on the latest F1 news. Subscribe and stay tuned for more gripping insights, thrilling analysis, and exclusive content as we continue to bring you the most exciting stories straight from the world of motorsports.